Life, like software, can be debugged, rewritten, and optimized. After 20 years of coding software, I recoded my life. That journey defined wellness for me. A calm nervous system, steady blood sugar, trust in the body, and doing what you love. This season, I'll walk you through that transformation. In future seasons, I'll be joined by guests to deepen the conversation. In today's episode, I share the culture shock of massage school and how just show up became my mantra to get me through. I'm Mary Toscano, and this is Coding Wellness. I want to take a step back and say that in these next few episodes, I'm going to tell you about how I got where I am now. Talk about massage school, why I became a massage therapist when I had no intention of doing so, and the massages that turned everything around for me. It's important that you go on this journey with me because if I just start telling you what I know now without giving you the evolution of how I got there, and if you have any kind of logical, rational mind, there's no way you're going to believe any of this. You would just tune me out. Some of what I'll share is pretty out there, so understanding my path from point A to point B will help it all make sense. Okay. In the first episode, I talk about the reason I left engineering was to spend more time with my daughter, Tiana. And while she was in school, I decided to go to massage school for the sole reason so I could learn how to do a massage longer than 7 minutes without complaining about it. That was my goal. That was it. But like all engineers, I can't just learn something a little bit. I have to learn it to the nth degree. So when I found out I could enroll in the full-time massage program and still get out in time to pick up Tiana right after school, I signed up. And so I started to go to massage school and got hit with a giant culture shock. Massage school was very different than the tech world I came from. In the tech world, intelligence, logic, structure, and productivity were valued. In massage school, just the opposite. It's more about feelings and emotions and intuition. And unlike engineering school, I couldn't just read a book or solve a circuit diagram to get through. I had to pay attention to somebody's feelings, which was really uncomfortable for me. I was used to overriding any feeling I had with logic, and I expected everyone else to do the same. The last thing I wanted to do or even knew how to do was give space for someone's feelings. And to make things even more frustrating, a lot of the teachers would teach by saying, just use your intuition. And that was so unacceptable to me. I would fight back hard and I'd say, oh no. You need to tell me exactly what to do, exactly where to put my hands, exactly how to move them. It's scary enough to even touch a body. Don't tell me to use my intuition when I have no idea how to do this. Tell me exactly what to do. Lucky for me, I had some teachers who were willing to do that for me and teach me in a black and white way with step-by-step instructions. Thank goodness for those teachers. In addition to the learning style being completely different, massage school was mostly women, and I was not used to that. I had always been surrounded by men. In my computer engineering program, I was one of only 4 women in a class of 400, and I never even saw the other 3 women. I was used to being around men, specifically men who were highly technical. I did not understand women, I understood men. Men were easy, black and white, what you see is what you get, especially engineers. I found women to be complicated and emotional. I didn't trust them, and I didn't like being around them. In fact, in my very first massage class, we were sitting in a circle on the floor, which was strange enough on its own, who has class on the floor? And we were instructed to touch the arm of the person next to us. That's it, fully clothed, just gently touch and hold their arm. The person next to me was a beautiful woman. I was so nervous to touch her that my hands were visibly shaking, and I couldn't stop them. She saw. everyone saw. It was mortifying. And that was just the beginning. Each class I went to, I felt nauseous. Women, feelings, emotions. It was overwhelming. And it was so difficult for me to get used to this extremely illogical world. In fact, I remember one class when we were sitting in a circle on the floor again, and I will never forget this. We were going around the circle talking about our homework, and one of the students said she didn't do her homework because Mars was in retrograde. And everyone, including the teacher, just nodded their head in understanding. I couldn't believe this was happening. I wanted to stand up and say, "What is wrong with you people? Are you kidding me? No, you have to do your homework." I couldn't believe that some planet in the sky being in retrograde, whatever that meant, was a valid excuse not to do your homework. It was the most illogical thing I'd ever heard. It felt like an out-of-body experience, like I'd entered the twilight zone. I felt completely out of my element. And when the teacher asked the class, "How many of you want to do massage for a living?" I was the only one who didn't raise their hand. But when I have a goal, I stick to it. I keep my commitments. And my goal was to finish massage school. So I fought the discomfort, pushed through the resistance, and just kept reminding myself, just show up. And if I could graduate from engineering school, I could certainly graduate from massage school. In fact, I ended up taking just about every class the school offered, plus additional classes at other schools. But there were two classes that were pivotal for me. Each of them set my life on a course I'd follow for the next 20 years. The first was the deep tissue massage class. The woman who taught it had developed a way to get very deep pressure with minimal effort, using torque, leverage, and body weight instead of brute strength. And even though I had to throw out almost everything I just learned about massage to relearn it her way, it set the stage for me to do thousands of massages without injuring myself. I got really good at deep tissue massage and very confident, and I am forever grateful to that teacher. It surprised me how much my engineering background actually helped. Deep tissue massage requires an incredible level of focus, not just on what I was doing with my hands, but what I was feeling under them. It was about precision and detail, and that kind of deep, focused attention was second nature to me. So while the emotional and intuitive parts of massage were hard for me, this part made sense. This was something I could do. The second pivotal course was a business class. I forget the exact name. But each week, a different guest teacher came in to introduce us to their healing specialty. Like one week, it was aromatherapy, another homeopathy. Another week, a dermatologist came in and taught us how to spot skin cancer so we could identify it during a massage. But the week that changed everything for me was when the director of the local chapter of a nutrition school came in and talked to us about nutrition. We were all so mesmerized by what she was saying that when it was time for a break, no one moved. We all just sat there wanting more. And I remember feeling this overwhelming surge of energy in my body. I just knew this was the key to health I had been missing, and I had to learn more. So I talked to her after class and ended up enrolling in the full-time nutrition program. And just like massage school, the local chapter was only 2 miles from my house, and I could take the full-time program and still get out in time to pick Tiana up after school. Also around this time, I finally started getting closer to Tiana, who, let's be honest, had been mad at me for the first couple years for not really paying attention to her first 10. I'll never forget the day she finally consented to letting me give her a massage. She was 13. She had resisted the whole time I was in massage school. During the massage, she said absolutely nothing while she was face down. But when she turned over onto her back, she made the following pronouncement. I want you to massage me every Thursday night. And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, Tiana, that's a big commitment. I don't know if I can commit to that." Tiana was having none of that. She just stopped me and said, "Look, you left engineering to spend quality time with me. This is quality time." I started massaging her on Thursday nights. To this day, those are some of the most cherished memories I have with her. And while that was happening, something else was unfolding too. I was going to nutrition school, getting closer to Tiana, and getting really good at deep tissue massage. Then the unthinkable happened. The stock market crashed and I lost all my savings. And suddenly, I needed income. I had bills to pay and a mortgage to cover, and I was going to nutrition school. Synergistically, like it was fate, my deep tissue course ended right then. And as part of passing the course, I had to give the instructor a massage. After I finished the massage, the teacher sat up on the table and said, "You have to come work for me." Turns out she was the spa manager at the resort up the coast. With no hesitation, I said yes. And at this point, my life was vectoring in the directions it was going to go for the next 2 decades. One was down the road of nutrition, and the other was working as a massage therapist at a spa up the coast. I want to take a step back and talk more about that surge of energy I felt right before I made the decision to go to nutrition school. I was in the nutrition class, and suddenly this wave of energy came over me. It was a full body yes, and I just knew nutrition school was my next step. Early on, I realized something important. That surge of energy, of excitement, of aliveness was my body's way of giving me direction. Whenever I felt that surge, that was the path I was supposed to take, even if it didn't make logical sense, even if it wasn't what I thought I wanted. So I started watching for it, especially when I didn't know what to do next. In this strange new world where I had no idea what I was doing, that became my compass. And once I knew the direction from that surge of energy, I had one guiding phrase: just show up. That didn't mean it would be easy. Massage school was hard. Not having a stable income was even harder. I was trying to reinvent my life while holding everything together, but I kept reminding myself, just show up. No matter how uncomfortable it was, if I knew it was the direction I was supposed to go, then the most important thing was simply to keep showing up. And that's how I navigated this strange new world. A surge of energy gave me direction, and once I had the direction, I just showed up. That simple pattern, feel the yes, then show up, was how I move forward. As we close off episode 2 of Coding Wellness, I'm wondering, what's something you're just showing up for right now? Something that's hard, but you know it's the direction you're meant to go. For me, it's my yoga sculpt class. Every second of that class is hard, but I just keep showing up. And this podcast too. As an introvert, it's a stretch, but the surge of energy that told me it's my next step was impossible to ignore. Share yours in the comments on Instagram or Facebook. I'd love to hear. In the next episode, we'll talk about connecting the dots and how the puzzle pieces of my life started to fit together. Thank you for listening to Coding Wellness, created and hosted by me, Mary Toscano. I hope today's episode gave you valuable insights and inspiration for your own path. You can follow Coding Wellness on Instagram and Facebook. Please rate and review the podcast, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. This podcast is meant to be listened to in order. Each episode builds on the last. So if you're just jumping in, I encourage you to go back and start from the beginning. Take care and remember, There is extraordinary potential that lies within all of us. Each one of us has talents and gifts uniquely our own, and a place where we shine the brightest. The more we live from this place, the happier we are. And remember, life, like software, can be debugged, rewritten, and optimized. Bye for now.